Now to the Flint Water Crisis and the settlement. Deborah E. Greenspan, the special master handling the case, has provided an update on the official Flint Water Settlement website. Now, the first sentence of the update speaks to the process. Greenspan writes, quote, "The process for handling claims has been complicated and lengthy." She goes on to say last month, claims administrator had received more than 12,000 reconsideration requests, and as of this week, she's received over 1,000 appeals, and they all have to be reviewed. She adds that claimants will not be paid until all considerations and appeals are completed. This April will be 11 years since the start of the Flint water crisis. All criminal charges related to the crisis have been thrown out, and it's been more than 3 years since the $626 million settlement was announced, and not a single victim of the water crisis has seen a dime of the settlement. Just this week, Ridgway White, the president and CEO of the Charles Mott Foundation, added his voice to the fight for justice for the people of Flint. He penned an opinion, which can be found on the foundation's website, saying it is time for claimants to get their payment, writing, "Flint residents deserve better. They deserve transparency about what to expect with this settlement and how to get the money that's owed to them." We're joined now by Ridgway White, the president and CEO of the Charles Mott Foundation, and thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
Yeah, I guess the first question is, why did you think it was important for you to lend your voice to this fight for justice for the people of Flint?
You know, anytime I hear from residents over and over again about something that's really challenging and bothering them, I think it's my duty to provide my voice, which sometimes can be a magnifying effect for residents. And in this case, you know, the Flint water crisis was the epitome of environmental racism and economic injustice. And it was a result of Flint being discounted for decades. And now we're in a process where there was light at the end of the tunnel. This settlement, I mean, money isn't everything, but it's our system of justice, and residents aren't getting paid. Families aren't getting paid. Children could be benefiting, and instead it seems like there's a magnifying effect of this delay in payment.
Yeah, and in that opinion piece, you also mentioned the poverty rate in the city of Flint and how this settlement could go a long way for helping to change the trajectory of a lot of people's lives.
I think so. I mean, the poverty rate's 50% in Flint for children, and that's one of the things we think about in the Mott Foundation the most, is trying to support kids and families and youth, and especially the youth in the city of Flint. And this could be huge for these kids, and I think it will be, but they're not going to get paid right away, right? They don't get paid until they're 18 anyways. There are probably some ways they can get partial payments, but it's, again, a really complicated legal system for people that maybe don't have access to all the justice tools that a person filing a lawsuit themselves would have.
Yeah, and you had an opportunity that not any claimant has had, but you had an opportunity to sit down with the special master, or at least speak to the special master, Ms. Greenspan, and tell us about that discussion and what she told you about this process.
Yeah, I mean, she's really accomplished in her field, was on the 9/11 case, and I think, you know, cares about the residents of Flint, has said it's a complicated process, but you know, I'd love it to see it go faster. There's spent a lot of money on processing this thing, and I'd love to see it go faster, and I'm really hopeful that bringing my voice maybe speeds it up a little bit, and people can get paid in the first you know, couple quarters of this year. Did
you leave with more clarity?
I left with a lot of, oh my, those are big challenges, but you know, if it was your family, seems like you'd want to do it faster. So you know, I think they should work harder, work faster, and I get there's time frames for correction and things, but you know, maybe there's a partial opportunity for payment, and then, you know, once they get every claim done, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not a lawyer, I'm not an expert.
I
just know that something should be done, and it's been long enough.
Yeah, and this may be an unfair question, a question that we can't even answer, but for a lot of people, we get a lot of calls here in the newsroom, and it seems like the process is complicated on purpose because of what they've been through. And, you know, we talked about the poverty rate, a poor community, and it's just complicated on purpose. Do you get that sense, and you don't have to answer if you don't feel comfortable answering, but do you get that sense too that there may have been some intentionality with this here, complicity of all of this?
Yeah, I can't speak to that. I mean, I think the legal framework is complicated, and we are in a society that relies upon lawyers, and we have to hire lawyers to figure things out. And so this is a case where the law is, putting up roadblocks. So there might be some opportunity for lawmakers to come in and simplify things.
Yeah, because it is very complex, as we've learned from the special master. And if she has over 1,000 appeals to look through, that could take months, maybe even years.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Ridgway, we appreciate you coming in and sharing this with us. And you can find his opinion piece on the Charles Stewart Mott Foundation website.